The galaxy far, far away is filled with heroism, tragedy, and mystery. Among these countless tales, few reaches deeply into the mists of time as the story of the Echo Stone. As we await James Mangold's upcoming film exploring the origins of the Jedi Order, there's no better time to look at the oldest known canon story of the Galactic Republic's Guardians of Peace and Justice. While our story predates the High Republic, our journey begins there. The High Republic era, spanning hundreds of years, was a time of unparalleled exploration and enlightenment. The Jedi Order stood at the height of its power and influence, embodying the ideals of peace and justice across the galaxy. Around 382 BBY, Jedi Knight Aslan Rel embarked on a mission that would forever alter his understanding of the Force. Rel's quest began with the search for the Rod of Seasons. Pursuing this stolen artifact led to the path of the Open Hand cult on the planet Dalna. However, Rel's journey took a dark and unexpected turn when he discovered the mysteriously calcified remains of a Jedi Master and her Padawan. This grim discovery compelled Rel to return to Coruscant, where his research in the Jedi archives unearthed one of the many adventures of the legendary Jedi Master Barnabas Vim, adventures that had already faded into legend. Long before the dawn of the High Republic era, Jedi Master Barnabas Vim and his Padawan Vix Phonic embarked on a journey across the galaxy in search of Force artifacts. Their long search brought them to the remote planet of Angcord. This world, almost entirely covered by water, boasted only a few small islands that supported a centuries-old kingdom. Despite its limited landmass, Angcord was steeped in legend and said to be the resting place of a gem capable of amplifying a being's connection to the Force. According to the ancient tale, the gem had been hidden on Angcord during the time of the Sith in order to prevent its capture by the Sith Lord Darth Ravi. As Vix inquired as to why they traveled all the way to the planet instead of just calling and asking about the gem, Vim explained that the planet had fallen silent for many years, its isolation so complete that it had slipped from memory. As the Jedi approached the islands, they discovered a sprawling city and sensed an abundance of life, making their silence that much more unsettling. As if on cue, the Jedi were greeted via holo by the Lady of Angcord, who was already aware the new arrivals were Jedi, and she expressed her gratitude for their arrival, stating she had long hoped someone would come to deliver her people. Taken aback, Vim could only affirm that they were there to help, and he inquired what Angcord needed deliverance from. The lady's response was as surprising as it was dire. The world of Angcord was dying. Upon landing on the surface, Master Vim and Padawan Vix were greeted by the Lady of Angcord. She explained that their once quiet and isolated world had hoped to solve their problems independently, but their situation had only grown more dire. Crops refused to grow, fish eluded their nets, and their trees were withering. She feared the Force had abandoned her people. Vim assured her that the Force cannot abandon anyone, for where there is life, there is light. Despite this, many in the lady's entourage were uneasy about the arrival of the Jedi. The lead pilgrim warrior stepped forward, asserting that the Force not only stood with the lady, but supported her without question. In a dramatic display, the warriors all extended their hands, channeling the Force towards their lady. She began to rise into the air, and as if reminded of a forgotten truth, she stammered that she must not lose sight of the Force. The Jedi watched in astonishment. The lead warrior, noticing their surprise, offered to demonstrate the true capabilities of their Force warriors. Leading the Jedi to a crowded arena, the lead warrior proclaimed that the Force not only honored their planet, but also empowered them to protect their lady. As the warriors worked in unison, a giant apparition of the lady materialized above them. The Jedi marveled at the spectacle, wondering if any Jedi were capable of achieving such a feat. The lady explained that mind painting had become their highest form of art, and she offered to reveal this secret to the Jedi. Following the lead pilgrim to the sanctum, Vim and Vix finally came face to face with the Echo Stone, the very artifact they sought. Surrounded by crackling energy, they could feel its immense power in the Force. However, when Vim revealed that he had come in search of this artifact, the lady became furious, believing the Jedi intended to claim the precious possession as payment for their assistance. Vim calmly assured her that they would take nothing that was not freely given, yet the lead pilgrim stepped forward again, accusing the Jedi of manipulating the lady's mind. In response to Vim's inquiry about the pilgrim's fear of the Jedi, the lady recounted their history. Centuries ago, the first settlers of Angcord scoured the galaxy for a safe haven from pirates and the corruption of the Hutts. They found Angcord, a place where the Force resonated so strongly that even non-Jedi could feel it. Upon settling, they discovered the Echo Stone. The gem's power not only transformed infertile lands into ground teeming with plants and wildlife, but also amplified the settlers' connection to the Force. The tale of the Echo Stone bears a striking resemblance to another renowned Force relic known as the Kaiburr Crystal from the expanded universe, now Legends continuity. Before it was known that Kaiburr crystals were the power source for lightsabers, the Kaiburr Crystal stood as an ancient artifact of immense power. It could amplify a Force-sensitive's abilities 1,000-fold, granting remarkable enhancements such as accelerated healing, the ability to project Force lightning by those typically unable, and the revitalization of a wary being by simply being near it. The concept of the Kaiburr Crystal has deep roots in Star Wars lore, tracing back to George Lucas's early drafts for A New Hope. Specifically, it appeared in the story synopsis and typed outline from January 1975. Though it did not appear in the final film, the idea found life in the novel Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which takes place shortly after the events of Episode 4. In the book, both Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader experience the potent effects of the Kaiburr Crystal. At one point, Princess Leia Organa, enhanced by the crystal's formidable power, wields Luke Skywalker's lightsaber against Darth Vader. Now we see the same concept used in Star Wars canon here on Angcord. However, Jedi Master Vim held doubts that the people of Angcord truly comprehended the Echo Stone's nature and its implications. Despite his assurances, the lady and her followers remained skeptical of the Jedi's intentions, so Master Vim requested time to meditate and uncover the artifact's true essence. That night, Vim had a vivid vision. Swimming through the vibrant oceans of Angcord, he witnessed the abundant sea life within, and he sensed that this planet, more than any other, was connected closely to the Force. He realized that without death, there could be no life, and that closeness to the Force gives meaning to life, but it does not prevent death. Suddenly, a sea creature ensnared him, dragging him into the depths. As his air mask slipped off, he understood that the meaning of life becomes clearest only when on the brink of death. Vim awoke abruptly, grasping the hidden cost extracted by the Echo Stone, a cost obscured by the artifact's own nature. Vim convened the people of Angcord and revealed the urgent need for action. He explained that the Echo Stone, while a powerful conduit of the Force, encompassed both its light and dark aspects. For light to exist, darkness must also be present, bringing its wrath, hostility, terror, and cruelty. Angcord, though supported by the light, was simultaneously poisoned by the darkness, which he declared had already claimed its people. As Vim reached out to sever the stone's connection to the people, the Lady of Angcord transformed before him, embodying the dark side itself. Declaring that the Jedi would not claim the gem, she ordered her pilgrim warriors to destroy the Jedi. As they deflected blaster shots, Vim instructed his Padawan that the only way to save the people of Angcord was to destroy the Echo Stone. Vix leapt into the air, her lightsaber striking the gem and shattering it into fragments. The effect on the Angkordians was immediate. The intense dark side power dissipated and balance was restored. In agreement with the lady, Vim vowed to scatter the Echo Stone's fragments to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, ensuring that its power would never again fall into the wrong hands. Force artifacts are not the only influences on the delicate balance between the light and dark sides of the Force. Check out this video for our deep dive into Sith holocrons and their impact on the galaxy.